What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Good Lord, I'm still scrolling. There's a lot of... Oh! That explains it. Okay, well, there we are. That is the reason why there's so many requesters. Okay, yeah, we're coming back to Nightwish. Yes, indeed. Nightwish Fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Oh boy, this is a long list. Oh yeah, okay, I remember. Yeah, 115 requesters.
To all the non-believers.
For this song. Good Lord. Okay, here's the deal. I'm gonna say the names once, okay? That's it. So, if you want to hear your name, listen carefully. I'm not gonna do this list again at the end like I normally do. No, this is a very, very long list. Okay. Woo, look at all these requesters. All right, this is a request from Petra, MK, Garces 320, Tomadus Wattis, Rufus Panjaitan, Michael Scheigenthaler, Tom McKittrick, Zanzimar 555, Bill Addercliffe, Mario, Zion OW, Terrence Canaday, The Obscure Rambler, One Winged Angel, Aries Ram, Cyber Slider, Chris Tony, Lisanne, Jersey, GN, Chardonnay, Science and Engineering, Ascension Energetics, Syntep, Peter Bell, Carl De Vries, Zanaya Rose, Zarek Lani, Greg Kirk, Eric Elliott, Fabrizio Granacher, Richard Dean Stevens, Rick Weaver, Bert McKinney, Phantom, Sig P6, Brutally Honest Kanukistani. I'm not even halfway through yet. Lynette Herbrink, Nikolai Lililand, The Ashlander, Hythix, Yako Lucas, or is it Jocko Lucas? I'm not sure. Recent Island, Du Shannon, Joanna Hart, RCCASGAR, Music to See Concert Photography, Benoit Disrochers, sure, why not, Mauro Silva, Marco Vitanen, Jim Murph, Avenge 4386, James Richardson, A Straight J, Robert Klee, World Peas, P-E-A-Z, Peas, yeah. I think I'm about halfway now. Let's see, yeah, halfway. Erling Kjorlin, Me Still Me, Sverre Mikkelden, Anarcho Moto, Nomo Deuce 910, Michael Belche SR, Mariella Klimsop, Dick Marcos Stenenhauder, Mika McNova, or Nobi, or maybe it's Micah McNobe, Music Fan, Do They Float? According to Pennywise, they do. Will Pert, Rafu01, Aaron Pedersen, Giovanna KK, Marcin Wolniewski, Marcin Wolniewicz, there we go. Zealon Arzeka, yeah, Zealon Arzeka, it's all one word. Andre W, Sonic Santana Burns, Cosmin Tudorinu, Sono Soloio. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Sono Soloio. Sonosolioio. Wow. Anyway, Goran Elez, M, Mitch, Net Andy CZ, Miko Rantalianen, Tim Green, Zoran Milicic. There's more. There's a whole nother page here. Ronald Karinga, Legend 108, Juha Veris, Richard Pierce, Always 1895, Emmanuel Langenfeld, Sandra Monroe, Nightwish, Darna Gwen, Elizabeth McDonald, Paulo Lopez. I'm almost done. I think there are 10 names here. No, actually, there are 15 names. Stephen Clark, Cobzer Ricky, Confused Penguin, Nefscape, Richard Goddard, Cheese Noodleless, Gordon Meadows, Doc8645, Leonardo Amorim, Dave McHugh, Liz Frelick, John Anthony, Graham Key. I'm almost done. 10 names and counting, I think. David Matthews, Trong Sagland, JNS, Ador, Alejandro Moya, Barry Dunham, Mbram, Carolina A, Fair HNP, and Diego Navarro, and 2 more special names. Big shout out to Home Numb. He's actually the one who put this list of requesters together for me. I was dreading this. And then luckily Home Numb just came up and said, hey, I did it for you. And I was like, dude, you are the man. You saved me like 2 hours of work. So big shout out to Home Numb. And last but not least, the man who made this possible, Insolent Umbrella. Because this is actually one of Insolent Umbrella's 3 prioritized requests for the month of February for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So here you go, Insolent Umbrella and Home Gnome and everybody else. I hope you enjoy the show. This is the song you've all been waiting for. We tried to get it to happen in December with the fundraiser, but unfortunately the fundraiser was a humongous flop. So unfortunately we did not get to do this in December, but we're doing it now. Here we are. It's the time. Time has come today. Yeah! It is Nightwish with a tune called The Poet and the Pendulum.
That's the fact, Jack! That's the fact, Jack!
Oh, dear Lord. Here we go. All right. Have I heard the song before? No, I have not heard the song before. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there is always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, okay, yeah, I've heard this before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth!
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was told by so many people that I need to do my research on this. And luckily, a lot of people pointed me in the right directions for what they felt was necessary. I did read the open letters. I'd read both of them. They were both very interesting reads, very eye-opening reads. And to be honest with you, as impartial as I like to be, I did take a side. I kind of did. I mean, I do see both points of view, but I do feel one point is a little more valid than the other. So I'm not going to say which side it is, but I do kind of side with one side more than the other. I did do all the research I could on the song itself, what the song is about. As far as, you know, writing it from the point of view of feeling ostracized and being a bit of a pariah, feeling like the fans who, you know, once praised Tomas are now calling for his head. You know, I've been there. I can absolutely attest to that. In more ways than one, I can attest to that. So I feel like I'm going to be able to rate this song pretty well, at least the message of the song. But only one way to find out is to actually listen to it and see how this goes. This was posted by Pia Vasquez, and the video has 3 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. The Poet and the Pendulum, Nightwish, HQ with lyrics, live at Wembley 2016. Okay, I was warned about this ahead of time. It's a long song. People were saying this is going to be like a 2-hour reaction and review. I don't know if it's going to be 2 hours. It might be like an hour to an hour and 15 or something like that. I don't know about 2 hours, but I don't know. Then again, I could be wrong. Maybe it will be 2 hours. I don't know. We'll just have to roll the dice and see what happens. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Nice place to pause. Okay, great scoring, great arranging. It's a good start. It's a really good start. Message is clear as day. You know, you can see it just in what's being stated here. I mean, they don't waste any time. They get right to the chase. The songwriter's dead. The blade fell upon him. Right there. Again, Tomas expressing his feelings of being not betrayed, but being attacked by the fans, by the same fans, by the media as well. But it feels like everyone's just turned on him, and these are the same people that, you know, less than, you know, it literally happened in the course of a day. You know, it's in less than 24 hours, the same fans that were singing his praises are now calling for his head. So, you know, I can absolutely relate to that, both on the channel and both in the bands that I've been in, past and present. Yeah, I can absolutely relate. So, anyway, let's keep going here. I was gonna ask before we move on. The vocals on this part, I'm assuming it's track. I don't see anybody on stage. Obviously, that's kind of hard because it's all out of focus. But I can't tell if anybody's singing this live. I don't believe they are. It's probably a track, but I could be wrong. Look, for all I know, that could be floor singing. So, I mean, it's possible, I guess. It's really high, though. I mean, not saying that she can't get that high. Odds are she can, but I mean, but I'm guessing it's an intro track. I'm guessing it's track. So, anyway, let's keep going here. Okay, so we come in with this, the start of, I guess, movement 2. I guess that's what we'll call it. Start of movement 2 coming out with a very aggressive feel. Like that. Absolutely like that. And very much like Ghost Love Score, came down. It came down when the vocals came in. It became far more subdued, but it didn't lose its energy. It didn't lose its drive. It just lost some of the aggressive feel, which was nice. It kind of softened up a bit, giving the vocals that are already going to be soft a chance to mesh really well with the new feel. It's a good, smart strategy. Really good start.
What?
Smart strategy. God, mouth is just not working today. I need more tea. No, so far so good. Everything sounds good. Everything sounds really good. Straight ahead 4/4 time. Got nothing wrong with that at all. I'll be honest with you. I was kind of expecting a little more with, like, you know, time changes and stuff like that, like Ghost Love Score did. But hey, it's still good. Still good. It's straight ahead 4/4. That's all. Just making the comment. Anyway, let's keep going here. Back up a bit. I'm going to assume what we just heard there was the chorus. Still straight ahead 4. I like the use of accents, though, that they put in there to follow up and kind of just give those little accent points to what was happening within the vocals. You know, kind of lining them up a little bit for those certain impactful points. Really nice. Yeah, I mean, so far, so good. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Let's keep going. Let's see where this goes. Listen to Mark's bass.
No more words, thoughts from a severed head. No more praise, tell me once my heart goes right. Take me home.
Man, you can really hear Marco's bass on that part. Boy, he was the driving force on that part, on that verse. Really nice. I also liked at the end of each phrase he did that little you know, 5/8 arpeggio, just boo doo doo doo. You know, it really nice, really nice. It's something so simple, you know. So we're in D. Pretty sure we're in D. So all he had to do is just do a simple, you know, D A D A D. You know, the boo doo 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 doo. You know, type of riff. You know, 1/5/8 5/1. It's effective. It's such a simple. Listen, riffs don't get much simpler than that, but it's so effective and impactful because he's waiting. He's holding off on doing it until the very end of the phrase, and he doesn't do it too often. It's not like he does it like every measure, you know. He does, or every 2 measures. He literally does it like every 8 measures at the end of each phrase. So it works really well. It works really well. It's very impactful. I've noticed that they do have the pre-chorus, and the pre-chorus is really short, like really short. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just not used to hearing short pre-choruses from Nightwish. It's kind of weird, but you know, look, it's working for him though. So I got nothing wrong with a short pre-chorus as long as it's effective, and it's definitely effective. It's a great setup. It's a fantastic setup. Let's keep going.
Tell me once my heart goes right, take me home. Get away, run away, fly away, lead me astray. To dreamers, hide away. I gotta cry 'cause the shoulder cries more. I gotta die at a home for the cold world. Calling me, the other two faces, one for the world. But for God's sake, I gotta cry 'cause the shoulder cries more. I gotta die at a home for the cold world. Home for the cold world. Home for the cold world.
Really nice. Oh. Okay, transition into a third move. I think I was reading in the comments there's 5 movements to this. Makes sense. Makes for a 14-minute piece. 5 movements. Yeah, that sounds about right. So far, I mean, I'm digging that second part, man. That second movement was... It was intense. I absolutely dug it. Great feel. Great vibe. Great energy. Great intensity. I absolutely could appreciate that. I was going to mention something. I forgot what I was going to mention. Anyway, if it comes back to me, I'll bring it up. Okay, so we're moving into the third movement called the Pacific. All right. Let's see where this goes. Switching to a major mode, okay. Minor. Augmented minor. Back to major. I love the chordal structure here. I love how it's transitioning from major, minor, augmented minor, back to major. It's major, major, minor, augmented minor, and then back to major again. Really cool. Really cool. It's flowing so well. Really well. Gosh. Let's just keep going. Let's keep this going. That brass, holy cow. Coming in like, not even forte, fortissimo. Like that brass just came out with that blatty brass sound. Just power right there. Love that. being a former brass player, I always love it when the brass gets to come forward like that. Doesn't get to happen too often, but when it does, oh yeah. I remember playing in orchestras and in symphonic orchestras and in wind ensembles, and whenever we saw that, you know, the double F, you know, at the bottom of the notes, we were like, okay, we're going to have some fun. So yeah, I can always appreciate that. Very impactful. Very impactful. Okay. Oh, okay. On that part, we just heard, Flora was singing in the lower register, and we heard the voice like an octave above her. So she's singing along to a track. That's so hard, man. Singing along to track. I know I've said this in the past, but it really is difficult because the track is pre-recorded. It's not going to be prone to making a mistake or going sharp or flat or anything like that. So if you're going to sing along to a track, you have got to be spot on, because I guarantee you that track is going to be spot on. So yeah, if you're singing along to a track and somebody's flat, I can promise you, nobody is going to blame the track. All eyes are going to be on you, I promise. In this situation, I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear Flora go sharp or flat at all. I mean, she was spot on. Shocking. I'm just saying that whenever people sing along to tracks, it gets real dicey. It gets real iffy really easily. So you have to be spot on. And she was. She absolutely was. Like I said, not surprising, you know, but anyway. All right, let's keep going here. Yeah.
I'm afraid, so afraid, being raped again and again and again. I know I will die alone, but loved. You live long enough to hear the sound of guns, long enough to find yourself screaming every night, long enough to see your friends betray you. For years, I've been strapped onto this altar. Now I only have 3 minutes and counting. I just wish the tide would catch me first and give me a death I always longed for.
I saw this in the comments. You know, I saw people keep mentioning this whole, you know, wait for 3 minutes and counting. I don't get the reference. I don't get it. For years I've been strapped onto this altar. Now I only have 3 minutes and counting. I don't get it. Why is that so prominent? Why was everybody in the comments making such a big deal about that line? I didn't want to. Here's the thing. Like, prior to watching this, you know, I was reading the comments, like, you know, a few days ago. And I saw people mentioning, you know, just wait until you get to 3 minutes and counting. And I was sitting here going, what are you talking about? What does that mean? What is the emphasis on that? Why is that part so important? And now I'm here, and I'm just more confused. I don't get it. I don't understand the significance. I know nobody told me the significance prior because nobody wanted to spoil anything for me, but so that's the double-edged sword with doing research before doing a reaction. You set yourself up with this. You know, you hear the people talking in the comments, wait for this part, wait for this part, wait for this part. Well, now I'm here. And I don't understand it. Now, if those comments had not been made, I would have just flown by this and it wouldn't have made one bit of difference to me. But now I'm here because people have been making the comments and I don't understand it. Nothing about that came up in my research. Nothing about this. There's no reference point. There's no point where I can go back in my research and go, oh, that's what they're talking about. Nothing of the sort. This is a stretch. Okay. The only thing I can think of, and odds are I'm wrong. And I kind of hesitate to say it because I'm just waiting for the backlash for everybody telling me you're wrong about that. Okay. Here's my interpretation of it. Like I said, lyrics are not my thing, so I'm probably wrong. According to the research I did, and from what people were telling me in the comments, the last show they did with Tarja, they literally got off the stage after the show was done. They did the whole group huddle hug like they used to do before the show started. So it was a little awkward, a little weird to be doing it after the show. And immediately after that was done, Tomas handed Tarja the letter. Now, like I said, this is a stretch. Maybe this line is what he's been feeling during the last 3 minutes of the show. He's up on the stage. He's been strapped onto this altar, meaning his position with the keyboards and the piano and playing on stage in that same position on that same platform. For years I've been strapped onto this altar. Now I only have 3 minutes left, so 3 minutes and counting. So there's literally 3 minutes left in the show. And he knows what's coming. He knows after the show is done, he's got to do what he's got to do, and he's got to deliver that letter to someone he has respected, someone who he considered a friend, someone that he has deep admiration for, and he's got to basically hand her this letter that says, get out. I just wish the tide would catch me first and give me a death I've always longed for, because he would rather die, than have to give her that letter, because that is not going to be a good time for him. That is how I'm interpreting this. I am probably wrong about that. So if someone in the comments could if people who actually know, people who really know what it means, let me know in the comments what it means, because I've been going over this in my head for days. What do people mean by 3 minutes and counting? Wait till you get to 3 minutes and counting. I can't wait to see what happens when you get to 3 minutes and counting. I'm sitting here going, what in the hell is 3 minutes and counting? Well, now I'm here. This is how I'm interpreting it. I'm probably wrong. So if anybody could tell me in the comments what it really means, it would be very much appreciated. So anyway, let's keep going here.
To the Sultan. Now I only have 3 minutes. Count. I just wish the tide would catch me first and give me a death I always longed for.
Nice build. Eighth notes to 16th notes, love it. Yeah. Oh, what a way to make the entrance back in. Yes. So you come out of this somber feel, the whole 3 minutes and counting part, where everything's kind of more, not just a little more, but far more subdued and, subtle and quiet. And you're coming into this now fourth movement. I didn't catch the name of the movement, but that riff, 8th note riff, straight eighths, and then halfway through it, transition from that 8th notes feel to a 16th note feel, so almost like straight time to double time feel, not actual tempo change. Remember, tempo never actually changed. It's just the feel changed. 8th notes to 16th notes. It makes it feel twice as fast, but it really isn't. It's very cool. Very, very smart songwriting. And more importantly than songwriting, very, very intelligent arranging. So there you go. Really nice chunky guitar sound coming out of Empu. Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Gotta love that. Marco right there with him. Tomas right there with him. All playing in unison. That syncopated rhythm. 60, that starting with 8 notes. Pop, 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 pop. And then they transition to 16ths. But the tempo was here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just changing up the feel. That's all you're doing. Tempo stays the same. I know a lot of people get confused on that. And they're like, didn't it go twice as fast? Nope. Shocking, but no, it really didn't. But really nice feel on that. Really nice feel on that.
Second brother to the right of Christ, cutting her infanticide. While we're rejoiced today, past the crowd, we stole the run power.
Nice reference with the Crows. Nice reference with the Crows. There's an old saying that the traitors and the pariahs will feed the crows. And that's, they're not kidding. Traitors and pariahs will feed the crows. That's one of my favorite old sayings, especially when I'm the one who feels like, I'm the one being targeted. So that whenever I get attacked on YouTube or in, media or whatever, fans turn on me or whatever, doesn't happen very often with the music, but it has. We've been in Tomas's shoes where we've had to send people walking out of the band because they become toxic, or they're no longer sharing the same vision that we are, or their goals have changed, or they want to go in a different direction with the music and we don't, or whatever. And we've had to send people walking. And often enough, the person that we usually send walking is either the lead singer or the lead guitarist. It's usually one of those two. And it's hard because they're the ones who are usually most upfront in front of the fans, and they're the ones that usually the fans relate to the most. So whenever the lead vocalist or the lead guitarist gets sent their walking papers and they leave, they're out, they're gone, they're booted. We give them the elbow, their history. The fans always get so hurt because it's one of the front people. It's one of the faces of the band. And they will very quickly turn on us. Absolutely. Oh, man. I remember one time we fired our lead singer. Well, we didn't. It was a combination of he quit and we fired him. We both knew we were growing apart. We knew it. So we kind of mutually agreed, let's just go our separate ways before things get toxic, So we parted ways. Oh, my God. The amount of hate, the letters we would get. Dear Lord. You have single-handedly destroyed one of my favorite bands, and, how could you do this to that? I'm not going to say his name, but how can you do this to blank? And I'm just like, oh, God, he left, granted, we were gonna fire him, but he left before we had a chance, but, oh, man. Every time I get stuck in one of those situations, or like I get attacked on the channel or whatever, people... keyboard warriors coming up and, trying to attack me for having a difference of opinion. Oh, heaven forbid I give their favorite band a 9.2 instead of a 10. Anything less than this deserves a 10. That's your opinion. And then they come after me and they're like, you don't know anything about music and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, man. So, yeah, I love that line. I love that line. That's a great line, man. As a matter of fact, it's so good. I want to go back and I want to hear that whole part again. No! No! I don't care! Hey! It's my show. If I want to go back, we're going to go back. I want to hear that whole section again with Marco singing. That was very impactful. Very impactful.
Second brother to the right of Christ, cutting her fantasy. While we're rejoiced today, that's the crowd who's got the right power.
Roast beast on the rotting bone.
Everyone must bury their own. The break the berry, the heart of stone. Now he's in hell, serves him well. Save for now, darling flies farewell. The morning dawned upon his altar. The means of the dark passion play. Performed by his friends without shame. Spinning on his grave as they came. Get away, run away, fly away, leave me astray. To dreamers, hide away. I can't cry, kiss the shoulder. Cries for I can't die. I'm a home for the cold world. Forgive me, I have a two faces. One for the world, and one for God save me. I can't cry, kiss the shoulder. Cries for I can't die. I'm a heart for the cold world. Heart for the cold world. Heart for the cold world.
Nice little differential there.
Today, in the year of
Nice little differential there. At the end of the chorus. Not like that was, I mean, it was similar, but there was a subtle change in those last two lines from the choruses we heard prior, especially the second chorus we heard prior, we had the same ending with the repetition of that same line, the whore for the cold world, whore for the cold world. They just spaced it out a little bit more. Put a little more of an accent on each word, gave each word a little more time to shine before it was moving on to the next word. Ba, 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 ba. You know, just a little more emphasis. And that's really cool. Really good way to kind of switch things up in a very simple manner. I do like the fact that they came back to that same chorus. I'm glad they didn't try to develop a new chorus. And a lot of people will do that when it comes to bands and writing songs that have, you know, different movements and different chapters. They feel compelled whenever they write a new part, if there's going to be a new movement, it needs a new chorus. I see the reasoning behind it. I see the thought process behind it. I do.
I respectfully disagree.
I don't necessarily agree with that. It really depends. If you can come back and you can use the same chorus, bring it around full circle to this next new part, why not do that? Why not have that part that correlates and binds and brings together all the parts? Why not do that? You know, I don't think songwriters should feel compelled to write a new chorus just because it's a new section of the song. You know what I mean? There's no reason for it. That was very effective. Bringing that chorus over from the second movement to the fourth, very effective. It binds the whole song together like a wire spiral binder on a notebook. It keeps the pages together so nothing goes flying away. Everything's there. Everything is intact. Everything is bounded together. And that's really cool, man. Really cool. More spoken word. Oh boy. Okay. Here we go. Nice.
Today, in the year of our Lord 2005, two of us was called from the cares of the world. He stopped crying at the end of each beautiful day. The music he wrote had too long been without silence. He was found naked and dead, with a smile on his face, a pen, and 1,000 pages of erased text.
That part I do not get at all. I don't get that part at all. That whole spoken word part at all. I remember in the comments, people were saying that he wrote this song. There was a purpose for him writing this song. And the whole purpose was basically for him to, within the song, kill himself. So that he didn't do it for real. A bit dramatic, but I see the reasoning. Enough hate, enough pressure, enough disparaging comments, enough attacks, and all you want to do is escape. But no matter where you go, no matter how far you run, you can't escape it. Especially the more famous you are, the harder it is to escape. No matter where you go, no matter where you try to hide, it follows you. And there really is no escaping it. And you hear this all the time with musicians, actors, sports figures. The pressure gets to them. It's not the pressure, it's the negativity. Unfortunately, the negativity comes with the job. Whenever you put yourself in a public light, you're going to have the positives, and you hope for the positives, and you relish on the positives. But the fact of the matter is, no matter how good you are, no matter how much good you do, no matter what you do to contribute to music, sports, acting, whatever it might be, you're always going to have the haters. The haters are always going to be there. Now, most of those haters are just jealous. They are just people who see the success you're having. They wish they could have it, but they can't. So since they can't have it, they're going to do everything in their power to bring you down, to make themselves feel better about themselves. Sad, isn't it? It's very sad. It's pathetic, actually. So he wrote this song for the purpose of killing himself within the song, within the music, and expressing that rather than doing it physically, like we know so many other artists, athletes, actors have. And it's, like I said, a bit over dramatic. Yeah, it is, but I would rather have him do it through this than do it for real. So, look, whatever it takes to make you feel better, man, do it. Do it. Absolutely. As long as it doesn't cause you any physical harm, Anyway, let's keep going here. I like that oboe line. That's an oboe. like this setup. I love the setup they had right there where Fleur was sitting in front, like on the drum riser in front of the drums, and Marco and Empu were sitting with her. I like it, gives it that little bit of an intimacy, that little close-knit unit right there. I like that. I really like that. That's for this point in the song and the feel of this song, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. More relaxed, more subdued, more intimate. So to come together like that, it's cool. I'm not usually the biggest fan of musicians sitting down on stage. I'm not usually the biggest fan of that, but in the context of the song, at this particular point, this feel of the song and how it's developing, totally acceptable. Totally acceptable. Let's keep going here.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow. God. Now I start tearing up. Are you serious? God dang it. Why now? What? God. Anyway. All right. There is, oh God, there is a ton to talk about. I'm going to do my best to condense it down as much as I can. But get comfortable. We might have a long review ahead of us. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do everything I can to condense it down, but there's a lot to say. A lot to say. Let me gather my thoughts.
Stop it. Get some help.
Let me gather my thoughts. I'll see you in the review. We'll talk about it.
75 years later.
Well, there you go, folks. That was Nightwish with The Poet and the Pendulum. Oh boy, this was a request from a lot of people. 115 people requested this song.
But they are who we thought they were.
And I can see why. I'm not going to mention all those names again. If you guys want to hear your name, go back to the beginning of the video and listen for your name there. I'm not going to do it again. It took me over 8 minutes last time, so I'm not going to do it again. I am going to mention two people, though. First of all, Home Gnome for putting together this list of requesters. Dear Lord, saved me about 2 hours of work, so thank you, Home Gnome. I really appreciate it. And then a big shout to Insolent Umbrella because Insolent Umbrella used one of his 3 prioritized requests for the month of February for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page to prioritize this song. We were supposed to do this song back in December as part of the fundraiser that we did for Wounded Warrior, but unfortunately that fundraiser really bombed. I mean, it was not pretty. We barely raised $2,000. I was not happy. And I know everybody was saying, you know, well, you picked the wrong charity. Guys, charity is charity. It doesn't matter. And besides, it wasn't about the charity. For most of the people, it was about the reward. So, but in any case, we did not even come close to even getting to the first tier. So there was no rewards to be had. So Insolent Umbrella decided to prioritize it for the month of February. So make sure you all thank Insolent Umbrella. Otherwise, this request was up in the thousands. It was like 1,006 or something like that. So make sure you all thank Insolent Umbrella. He saved you about 1.5 years of waiting. Okay, man, I have a score. And it's funny. It's really funny because considering what the song is about, considering the point of view of Tomas when he was writing the song, and the whole reasoning for writing the song, it's kind of ironic that I'm giving this score. Because I know what's going to happen. I know exactly what's going to happen when I give this score. I hesitate to give the score. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of scared to give the score. Because I was told, I can't even tell you how many people said in the comments, when I did Ghost Love Score, and I gave Ghost Love Score a 9.8, everybody, and I mean, not everybody, but I mean a lot of people in the comments were saying, well, if you gave this a 9.8, you're going to have to give Poet and the Pendulum and The Greatest Show on Earth a 10. Well, I don't give 10s, unless it's for humanitarian reasons. So, I try to explain that to people, and they're like, well, you can give this, you can make an exception. No, I can't. And then the other people are like, well, if you're not going to give it a 10, you're going to have to give it a 9.9. I have to? Okay. It's interesting how people tell me what I have to do on my show. It's funny, you know, when people tell me how I need to do things, and I need to do, yeah, I need to give this song this score. I have to on my show. It's funny. I always kind of chuckle when I see people say that. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to give this song this score. You have to do this request. You have to do this version of the song. Folks, imagine if you had a channel and you were making content and I came on your channel and I told you how to do things on your channel. How would you react? Just think about that for a little bit. No, I do have a score here, and I know exactly what's going to happen when I give this score. People are going to be pissed. But at the end of the day, first and foremost, I gotta be honest to myself, because not to be rude, but I don't live with any of you. I live with myself, and I have to live with my decisions. And if I were to make a decision that wasn't honest, as much hate as I might get from everybody else, you know, for being honest, if I was being dishonest, I would hate myself. And I'm with myself 24/7, so first and foremost, I gotta be true to me. I just find, you're gonna see what I mean. I promise you. You're gonna see what I mean. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am gonna give that a 9.7. Yep, 9.7. You heard me. That's the score. I feel great about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
I know a lot of people were saying I have to give this a 9.9. I am not giving this a 9.7 to spite those people. I'm not, okay? I am giving this a 9.7 because that is honestly the score I feel this song deserves, all right? I want to make that very clear. Now, let's talk about why I feel this song deserves a 9.7. There were so many great things happening in this song. Mind-blowing things. I've already talked about most of them during the course of the review. I'm going to try to bullet point them as quick as I can and then move on because I don't want this to turn into a 2-hour-long video. Here's the deal with this song. Let's talk about songwriting and arranging first, okay? Great arranging, great songwriting. Everything in this song flowed together really well. I mean everything. Nothing sounded awkward. Nothing sounded out of place. I love the fact that they broke this song up into 5 separate movements and they made those separations very clear, even without seeing it on the screen. Each movement, you could feel the difference. You could feel the difference in each part. It was very clearly defined. So even without the text on the screen, you knew this is a new section of the song, and it felt really good. Each section blended together well, but had enough, more than enough separation to differentiate, which is very important when you're talking about dividing a song into movements. You want to have that separation. But yet they were all connected. Not one part felt disconnected from the song as a whole. Not one part felt like it was a new song. It all gelled really well. The chordal structures on each movement flowed well. My personal favorite was the second movement. I think the second movement was probably my favorite movement out of them all. Although I did like the fourth movement too. The fourth movement was rocking as well. The slower movements, look, they were pretty. They were very, very pretty. Very well written. Very well constructed. Very well executed, okay? I'm not complaining about those at all. All I'm saying is my personal favorites were the second and fourth movements. They had the energy that I love, and I really enjoy them. From a performance standpoint, let's talk about the musicians. Let's start with the drummer, Kai. Fantastic job. I mean, I can't say enough about this guy. He is a phenomenal drummer. He really is. I remember saying that during the Winter Sun review that I did, or reaction that I did for that Winter Sun song. Well, there was actually 2 songs, I think. But no, that was one song. It was one song. And I've said this about him countless times since. The guy's a machine. He's an absolute machine. Not the greatest showman, and I know a lot of people have said that in the comments, and I absolutely agree with those commenters. Not a great showman, but a rock solid drummer. And at the end of the day, do you want a drummer who is sloppy but has great showmanship, or would you rather have a drummer who has no showmanship but can play absolutely rock solid? I'll take the latter, thank you very much. He did a fantastic job all the way through the song, putting some great accents in, some great fills. The fill starting off movement 4 that he came in with, that was that little tom run that he did. Very nice, very tasteful. Just came up enough to the front to make himself noticeable, but very quickly, just as quickly, disappeared back again. Really, really cool. Let's talk about Empu. Let's talk about guitar. Thick, crunchy guitars where needed. Now, he did not play through the entire song. He played in movement 2. He played in movement 4. I don't think he played it all in movement 3, which is not surprising because I don't think really anybody played in movement 3 other than Tomas. Movement 5 he was playing as well, but far more subdued. But when he was playing in movement 2 and movement 4, good lord, I love his tone. Fantastic tone. Great distortion tone, not overly overdriven, just a nice, thick, crunchy sound without being muddy. You can definitely hear the differentiation between notes, both from a notational standpoint and from a subdivision standpoint. Not as much showmanship from him on this song as I've seen him do in others, but I don't think the song really called for showmanship. This is more of a pull your heartstrings type of song. Even when it was being aggressive and, you know, being intense, it's still, I think, out of reverence, you know, you don't want a whole lot of showmanship per se. Marco on the bass. There was that one section halfway through, I believe it was the second movement, where he just took over. He drove the song. Really nice. I love his tone, man. I would love to see what he uses as far as settings on his. I mean, it's one thing to know the equipment. I want to know where the knobs are set. You know, I have a SansAmp that I use. I would love to be able to emulate his tone on my SansAmp. I don't know if that's possible. I might have to get a B-Max T to be able to do that. The old BBE B-Max T. I used to have one. I need to get a new one, I guess, to help maybe fill out the sound a little better. But his tone is fantastic. He gets great such attack on his notes. I love it. It stands out, especially when he really wants it to. Plus, playing a Warwick. I mean, Warwicks are great basses, man. I love Warwicks. I have a Corvette. I have a Warwick Corvette. It's a German import, actually. Really nice bass. But it's one of my favorites to play. If not, actually, now that I think about it, I think it's actually my absolute favorite bass to play. The tone on that thing is just insane. But I can always appreciate bass players who play Warwicks, so great job on his part. And vocally, he did a fine job as well. Stepping up and doing the harmonies with Floor. Yes, I've always appreciated when they do those harmonies together, but hearing him singing lead and the way that he sang lead, coming out of the third movement, starting off with the fourth with him singing lead, it sounded really good. Very intense vocal delivery on his part. Which was only matched then later on when he joined up with Floor to do the harmonies, which also sounded fantastic. Let's talk about. Do I want to do Tomas last or do I want to do Floor last? I'm going to do Tomas last. Okay, so let's go to Floor, all right? Floor, on her vocal delivery on this, fantastic as always. I mean, I've always had a great amount of respect for her ever since the first time I heard her sing when I did Ghost Love Score. I was immediately enthralled with her. I was like, wow, what a phenomenal vocalist. I wonder what else she can do. Well, that question has been answered over the course of many songs, and I think this song is the exclamation point so far. You know, I know I have to do The Greatest Show on Earth, and I've heard a lot of things about that song too, so I'm looking forward to doing that reaction eventually. But this was definitely the exclamation point. Like, any questions that I had about her ability have been answered with this one performance. The very beginning of the song, I am still convinced that was a vocal track. It sounded a little processed. It had a little bit of that recording. I don't want to say hiss. It's not hiss. It's just a slight hum that you get on pretty much any recording that you do. You're going to have it. There's just no denying it. There's no avoiding it. It's a reality of recording. But it was ever so slight. But I think I'm pretty sure I could hear it. I'm almost positive that was tracked. Now, could it have been her singing live? It could have been, but I don't know why they wouldn't have shown her if that was her singing live. You know, now she could very well have been behind, you know, the curtain singing live into a mic. She very well could have done it. So, but I'm almost positive that was a track at the very, very beginning. Now, once she came out though, she took off like a shot, and she's hitting all of these different registers, all of these different octave ranges, and most impressively was the third movement. That super high register. I mean, I've heard her get up that high. I've heard her get that high before on, what was it? Devil in the Deep, Dark Ocean, I think it was what I heard her do that really high note. But this was consistent. She was consistently up there. She never came down. more importantly than that, though, the delivery from her, delivering her vocal performance with such impact and with such emotion. You could really feel it in her voice, man. It felt fantastic. Her delivery through the entire song, all 5 movements, was very well done. So I have absolutely no complaints about her whatsoever. Outstanding job on her part. Tomas. I have mixed feelings. He did an outstanding job playing. Okay, he did. He did a fantastic job playing. I was really impressed with how well he kept it together. I've always wondered why people write songs about breakups. I have always wondered why people write songs about significant others who break their hearts and dump them or whatever. I've always wondered why people write songs like that. Because every time you play that song, you're gonna be reminded of that event, that event happening. You're gonna be reminded of the emotions that went with it, and you're gonna be reminded of all the feelings that come along with it as well. All the hurt, the pain, the anguish. And I've always wondered why anybody would want to put themselves through that. I got no problem with people writing a song about a breakup or something that happened to them that caused them hurt. I get it. It's therapy. I understand that. I write the song. By all means, write it. Don't record it. And if you do decide to record it, don't release it, because it might become a hit. And now you're going to have to perform that song on tour every single night. And every single night, be reminded of those feelings, that hurt, that feeling of being betrayed, or the feeling of being, emotionally destroyed. You're going to have to be reminded about that every single night. I understand that from what I was reading in the comments, they don't play this song live anymore, and I completely agree, they shouldn't. They should. As awesome as the song is, they should not play the song live anymore, because every time they do, it's just going to remind Tomas of the pain that he was feeling, and he's going to have to revisit those feelings every time he plays the song. And that's not healthy. Number one, it's not healthy. Number two, it's not fair. So I'm glad they don't do the song live anymore. I was thrilled to see the song. Don't get me wrong, it was very enjoyable, but whew, that is an emotional roller coaster. And I'm not even the guy who lived it, he did. And he's the one that has to deal with it. And not something I would ever want to do. In closing, a couple things I do want to mention. Regarding the 9.7, now people are wondering why I didn't give this the 9.9, or why I didn't score this at least higher than Ghost Love Score. It came down to one simple thing. This song did not elicit as much of an emotional response as Ghost Love Score did with me. Ghost Love Score really elicited an emotional response. I mean, deep emotional response. And I was tearing up a lot in that song. This song, I didn't tear up until the very end when the song ended. And all of a sudden, I don't know why, but I started to feel a little choked up. I cannot explain that. But this song did not have as much of an emotional impact on me as Ghost Love Score did. That is why I didn't score it higher. That is the only reason I didn't score it higher. It's not because I think the songwriting wasn't as good. I would count them about equal, if I'm being honest. I think there were certain things that Ghost Love Score did that were better, but I also think that there were certain things that Poet and the Pendulum did that were better as well. It's kind of a give and take. It's kind of an even keel for me. Just for me, on an emotional level, I felt more of an emotional connection with Ghost Love Score than I did with the Poet and the Pendulum. It's nothing against the Poet and the Pendulum at all. I think the song is phenomenal. from what I heard on the first listen. I need to go back and listen to this song a few more times to see what else I can catch. Now here is my dilemma. I'm giving this the 9.7. I am just waiting for the hate now. I'm waiting for the hate in the comments. And this is where the irony comes into play. I told you it was an ironic thing. Here's the ironic thing. The whole reason for this song being written is because Tomas was feeling attacked by the same fans who praised him, who called him, you know, the metal Mozart, and he's a genius, and he's the heart and soul of Nightwish and everything like that. Then they fire Tarja. In less than 24 hours, those same people who were singing his praises, calling him a genius, calling him the heart and soul, calling him the metal Mozart, turned on him and attacked him. Not just the fans, the media, everybody was attacking him, okay? I can relate because it's going to happen here. I know it's going to happen here. I know there are going to be people in the comments who have sang my praises, said I have an amazing ear, that they're so happy that I enjoy what they enjoyed, and everything else. And despite the fact that I gave the song a 9.7, and I explained my reasons why, and I sang the praises of the song, and of Tomas, and of everybody in Nightwish, I still gave it a 9.7. And I know for a fact there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be upset about that. And they're going to attack me, just like Tomas was attacked. Prove me right. Prove me right. Look, bring it on. Bring it on. I'm not saying, listen, I am not saying don't express yourself. I'm not saying that at all. If you feel like attacking me, by all means, go ahead and attack me. You know, if you really feel that compelled to attack me over a 9.7, think about that for a second. The only score to beat that so far was another Nightwish song with a 9.8. That's the only thing that's beat it so far. So, if you really feel that compelled to attack me over a 0.1 difference, by all means, feel free. Go ahead. Bring it on, do your worst, and prove me right. 9.7. Final score. I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and hit that button down there. If you guys feel like liking the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference to me, but if you feel like doing these things and you want to do these things, then by all means, go ahead and do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Until next time, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.